What's going on, guys, and welcome back. It is full-on winter here in northern Nevada. It's like 20 degrees in the garage today. But there's a lot of work to do, and I'm excited because, as you could see, we have a new car to work on. But I had been kind of searching around for another WRX or STI, and I came across this one. It is an STI swapped 2002 WRX. This thing has had so much stuff done to it. It needs some work, but I think that we can really do a lot with what we have here, and I'm excited to kind of build off of what's already there. Obviously, it's got a lot of really cool like JDM bits. Obviously, the fog light covers, the solid lip down low, headlights, the grille. Those are all JDM bits. Yankee RPF ones. I believe they are 18s. They might be like by 8 or 8.5. I'm not really sure yet. BC Racing coilovers, Perrin intake, highly sought after EJ207. It's actually a built block too, so that's really cool. It's got Darton sleeves. It's a Stroker 2.2 and a bigger Blausch turbo. I'd have to go look at all the receipts for everything to remember what it is. I think maybe it's like the XTR or something. It's one of the bigger ones that is rated for like up to 500 wheel, I believe. The Mishimoto top mount. I'm not really in love with those. I don't really like the style of them, but I think my goal for this car will be to eventually go with a front mount because I've never actually owned one. And I think it makes the vehicles much more serviceable, and I would really like to see what that's like. AEM fuel pressure regulator. He's got TGV deletes with the phenolic spacers, a much bigger throttle body, and it's crazy. The throttle response on this car is nuts. It's like you barely touch the accelerator. It's actually quite hard to get used to. IAG fuel rails with the parallel fuel lines. He does have TurboSmart blow-off valve, and he was running a math tune. This car was actually never tuned for boost, so there's only 10,000 miles, he said, on the built motor. He was doing the break-in miles, and while he was doing that, for whatever reason, his turbo went out on him, and he had to send it back to Blausch, and they remanufactured it. It was due to oil starvation. He wasn't sure why. Could be maybe one of those like AVCS screens. I'm not sure if the EJ207 has those screens that tend to clog the AVCS like hard lines. So we'll have to investigate that and see if those are still in there, because we do not want to be running those. He has the tune on here. It's essentially like a base map with a rev limiter of like 4,200 RPM. So you can't rev it past that right now because he didn't want to hurt the engine while he was doing the break-in miles. And he ended up doing a lot more break-in miles than you really need to. 10K is kind of a lot, but he just wanted to be really sure because he put so much time into this thing, which I get. I respect that, see? Respect. Anyway, Mishimoto radiator that is currently leaking. So that's got to come out. Just installed this Crawford AOS. The injectors that he's running are the STI Pinks, so the 565 cc's. Just put in a brand new battery. Massive coolant leak, as you can see right there. Some weird things with the car too. Like, so we have the WRX mirror right here, as you can see, standard, and it works. The power switch works and everything. I tested it. And then over here, for some reason, he's put on an STI mirror, and you can tell because it has the black casing around it. I believe the STIs, maybe the 07 WRXs had that too. I'm not sure, 06, 07, I can't remember. But this one doesn't work. I think it's a different plug. So the power thing doesn't work on it, which is kind of funny to me. I don't know why you'd want to switch it out for one that is less functional. And obviously the mismatched wing back here. It is an authentic STI wing, as you can see, because it has the light. I'm not sure if we'll be able to wire that up or not. Let's open the trunk here. Huge subwoofer in the back, so we can like just bump our beats out on the track. Pretty stoked about that. He's got the updated taillights from the, I think these are from the Blob Eye, or maybe these are, yeah, these are Blob Eye tails. And the bumper, obviously. Really cool piece down here. It's kind of rare. The STI Genome. These exhausts, I don't know why they're so sought after, but they really are. I guess because it's a pretty nice, loud sounding STI authentic exhaust. Little loud for my taste, I think. I'm not sure that I'll keep running it. But I do like the look of them. They're quite nice. The body is actually quite straight. It's just obviously the paint is over 20 years old, so it needs some work. With the exception of this quarter panel right here. So this car has a clean title, and I guess it was hit though in like a minor accident. Like he had the car parked on the side of the road and someone slid into him and put a big dent here, and this is all for them trying to push it out. They did actually a pretty decent job for not really knowing what they were doing, but I think we can get it looking a lot cleaner. He's got the red mud flaps and lots of stickers, man. I'm not a fan of the stickers. So the interior, it's got STI door cards all around, carbon fiber bezels for the switches on every door, STI interior in the back, also the blue carpet seems to be in really good shape. He installed these red Braun racing seats. They're actually quite comfortable, these seats. I don't really mind them, other than the color. I'm not a big red guy, but they are nice seats. STI floor mats, of course, and he's got Innovate gauges. It's got like a oil temp, AFR, and boost, and then he's got this other boost gauge right here. It's kind of funny. There's two. The just standard gauge cluster. Like I said, this thing's been 6-speed swapped, so we have the it's a DCCD capable STI 6-speed with the R180 rear diff. Big ass mirror. And the guy that I bought it from, he threw in a bunch of other parts that he just had laying around that he didn't get a chance to put on the car. A lot of cool things came with this car. For instance, I'll show you real quick. Right up here on the shelf, that is a brand new, still in the packaging, Tomei titanium exhaust. White line front and rear sway bar kit. It's like the entire kit that comes with all the bushings and all of the end links and everything. So that's pretty cool. Brand new HKS timer, turbo timer over here. A Mishimoto oil cooler that's never been installed. Yeah, a lot of cool stuff. He even had like the old taillights that he pulled off, the OEM taillights. A whole nother set of mirrors as well too, just WRX mirrors, side mirrors. So I'll probably switch that STI one out or find a matching STI one and sell the other ones, I'm not sure. Brembo brakes too, forgot to mention. He's got the, rocking the red Brembos in here, so that's pretty sweet. And yeah, these RPF ones, they're in pretty good shape with the exception of this left rear one. A bunch of like crusty, like looks like curb rash, and then like a big chunk taken out right there. It's probably when that person hit him. So yeah, I don't know. Hopefully when we start tearing into this thing, we don't see like more damage back here than he told me about. And hopefully the frame isn't bent. We'll see. If it is, then it is, you know, and we will figure it out. Maybe I'll have to find like another shell or something and take all the parts off this and scrap this one. I don't know, but I'm not too worried about it. For the price that I got this car, it's well worth it, even if this chassis ends up being a total pile. So yeah, not too stressed about it. But I am stoked to just start tearing into this thing. I'm basically going to tear it down. We need to get the engine out of this thing. I just want to go through it and make sure that everything is squared away to the standard that I would like it to be. Don't put it down, put it away. Voila. Rocking the one fender liner. It's super freaking torn up. Look at this. Look at that. Twisty tie, baby. I love finding all sorts of sus things. All right. Moving on. Now that I have the bumper off, let's see if we can fit this bad boy underneath. Game on. You can do it. You can do it. I believe. Let's get it. Time to drain some oil. Oh, this car is just leaking everywhere. Rusty. This oil could be scary. Doesn't look that bad, actually. And I just wanted to show you guys something that I came across real quick because I think it's important. And I don't think a lot of people realize that it's important. So this Crawford Air Oil Separator. So I'm not familiar with this unit, but I do think they all work in a very similar way. I've installed a couple of the IAG ones. And basically the bottom hose right here, it goes from the bottom of the canister and drops down into that little Y connector down there. This hose, I believe, because it's the very bottom hose of the canister, that is your oil return. So it drips through this and then returns back to the block. Now, the issue with this is this line is going uphill. So whenever you plumb these, you want to try to position this all in such a way where this drain line is actually going downhill from the bottom of the canister. Otherwise, it's gonna back up with oil and it's not gonna drain properly. I'm not trying to roast the previous owner. I have actually, the first one I installed, I did the same thing. Just wanted to point that out. It sounds like the coolant is pretty much done at this point, so I'm going to start pulling off a lot of the cooling system, like the radiator and all of these ancillary lines here. I don't know if there's still Freon in the system here. I guess I probably should have checked to see if the AC was still running cold, but I didn't. So I'm just going to assume that there could be some in there, so I'm not going to start cracking anything loose. I'm going to just move this aside like I did the power steering pump. Whoa, that was loose as hell. Okay. Well, that was really easy because it's really loose. Huh. Sheesh. These were not tight at all. It's crazy. Can't believe that the AFRs were still okay. Huh. All right, before we pull the downpipe out, let's get the wideband out of here. All right, now, she is out. All right, moving on. Probably try and get the TGVs loose now. Huh. Oh, it's fucking zip tied. Holy crap. Come on. Thank God. Pretty good over here. Oh, fucking Christ. Knock sensor. Oh, Jesus. All right, guys, so I've made a ton of progress here in the engine bay. I'm not gonna lie, it is just so nasty in here. I don't know what to think, to be totally honest with you. Yeah, I mean, there's just so much filth, like, built up around this phenolic spacer. Like, I can't even get the spacer off. I don't know if he used, like, Fuji Bond on it or something, but it won't come loose. That one popped off and it looks okay. It doesn't look like there was sealant on it, but like this one won't come off. It's like anything I touch without gloves, my hands are instantly just like saturated in like grease or like oil or dirt or something. Yeah, I think there was just like a lot of stuff leaking in this engine bay, unfortunately. Yeah, like look at this. So this port, you can just block it off, like he has a cap on here, but look at this cap. It was like this. I didn't touch this. So that's beautiful. But yeah, it's definitely been neglected. So we are gonna bring this thing back to life, I think. Manifold is out, it's chilling down there. Look at this throttle body. Boomba throttle bodies. It's got I think it's a bigger opening, I'm pretty sure. But it's very smooth, very responsive. Blow off valve, definitely gonna be getting rid of that. Actually, I can probably just pull that right off. Yeah. If anyone wants a blow off valve, hit me up. I don't want to run this thing, so. It's a Turbo Smart Supersonic, so. Throw that in this bin. Parts that I will no longer be keeping. Now all that is left are some of these coolant hoses here that attach to the block here and right there on the cylinder for cooling mod. We need to take out the starter and disconnect that, and then all of the bell housing bolts. Once the bell housing bolts are out, we need to loosen the pitch stop mount, jack up the transmission just a little bit, pull out the slide pin for the clutch fork, release the clutch fork from the throwout bearing, and then we should be able to free the engine from the bell housing of the transmission and pull it out. All right, guys, it is slide pin time. So this Allen bolt right here is a 10. So got that hooked onto my ratchet here. We're gonna try to crack this thing loose. Everything on this car seems to be insanely loose, so it actually cracked open way easier than it should. I'm not complaining, it's making the teardown way less of a hassle. So I have this 10mm bolt. I think these are for like the manifold to TGV bolts. And the thread pitch fits perfect into the slide pin. So I just thread in a few threads, grab some pliers, grab a hold of the pin with the pliers, and start pulling it out like this. Bam. We need to loosen the engine mounts underneath, loosen the transmission mount underneath, jack the transmission up, get our hoist in place, and start picking the thing. See if this is a neutral. So, that's all you gotta do is pick that guy up. Wow, that was really tight. Oh wow, look at that. Didn't even loosen the clamp. Use the old noggin. And there, we're getting there. There we go. Ooh, there we go. Ooh, I think we freed it. Okay, okay, okay. Let's keep lifting. I think we're clear. We're in the clear. In the clear, 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 clear. Six puck. Well, there it is, guys. The EJ207 is out, and we have lots of work ahead of us, but I'm stoked to get that knocked out, and now we can move on to pulling the drivetrain. Just look at how disgusting this is. I've never seen so much like oil and grease like built up so thick. Yeah, man, this thing was leaking so bad from like everywhere. But yeah, man, pretty stoked to keep working forward and rebuild this abandoned STI swapped WRX. And we're gonna make it as nice as we can and hopefully build some really nice power in this thing. That's all I got for this video. In the next one, we're gonna keep doing some more of the same. I do wanna get this thing really cleaned up underneath. I'll probably strip everything off of the chassis, and I need to find some taller jack stands because we do have some space above the roof here where you look like we could go a little bit higher between the roof and the garage door opener, because I really want to be able to sit underneath it, kind of sit up underneath it so that I can pressure wash the crap out of the bottom of it and just get as much dirt and filth off there as possible. I scrubbed the bottom of the wagon, which is sitting out there right now to cover. I scrubbed the bottom of that thing. Like, it took days and days and days to do it with like a wire brush and paper shop towels and like cleaners. And it was just like so tedious, man. I really don't want to do that again. I'd rather hit it with degreaser, let it sit on there for a while, and then just pressure wash the shit out of it. So I'm gonna try to do that. But yeah, we have a lot of work to do, a lot of parts to pull off this thing, get cleaned up, get refinished, etc. So yeah, anyway, please hit that like button if you got anything out of this, or if you just simply enjoyed it. And think about subscribing if you haven't already, if you want to see more. And I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.